Page 58, Melody in F by Anton Rubinstein. I've been talking in previous videos about people with fat fingers and can't get up in between the black keys without pushing white keys down or whatever. Their fingers are too fat to fit. Well, professional pianists have had the same problem from time to time. This Rubinstein was one of them. He had really fat fingers and he just couldn't get up between the black keys very easily, so he had to adjust his fingering to do that. Some people have to do that, and that's okay. I have a few things I'd like to point out. This is a beautiful piece of music. I think I did a recording of this because this is a piano solo. He wrote it for piano solo. I put it on my other channel. I'll try and get a link in the description of it. I can't remember now. It's been too long since I posted anything on that other channel. Well, let's talk about this. This is in the key of F major. Obviously, it's in the title. 4/4 time, and it's a very gentle piece. Not slow, not fast, just kind of in the middle. It says moderato cantabile. Moderato's kind of in the middle, and cantabile is a singing style. Well, good luck with that on piano, but you do the best you can. You think of a singer singing it. At the beginning, in the right hand, you have the roll chords. Here, I'm going to play the bottom note with the left hand. The left hand is not rolled, so we're here, and then here, and then lift up. A little silence between these. I know it's pedal, never mind, it's here. And then here. Thumb, then 2, 3, and then 2, 1. And then 2, 1 again. This is common in this piece, so it's fine. Fourth line, remember to lift up between the phrases. Crossover, and then again. Now here, third finger, they went here and here. If you want, you can play the B flat with fourth finger, because it's between a phrase you got to lift up anyway, so you're here, you can lift up if you want. And then 2, 1, 3, you don't need that. Do a 2, 3, 4, and then a thumb on the F, because that puts you in position for this run coming down. And this is just part of an F major scale. And then same thing as we had before on this part. At the bottom, the coda. See at the bottom, last two measures, you're here, and then just the 1, 2, 3, and then left hand does the rest of it. That's it for the right hand. It's a nice piece. Left hand is supporting for the most part. So at the beginning you have the C B flat. That's a stretch, so I recommend a 5/1 if you can do it. Again, there's no black key here, so you might be able to fit it in. And that's tied, so you hold it down, and then here, you're going to lift up and hang on to that dotted half note. That's important. Watch the accidentals. Third line down, second measure. Just rotate here. Use second finger on the A flat if you want. So on page 59, second line, last measure. Now we change the rhythm a little bit. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 now. And then the last measure, third line, I recommend a 5/4/2. Because this is the chord. That's the fingering side. That's. Then you're back to your other stuff that you were doing. Now in the last line, here on the G, because you got to come up to a B flat, I recommend the second finger on that. If you can't get the thumb here, then you do a thumb, and then here. I'll leave that fingering up to you, but to me, a thumb on the B flat works fine. And then for the coda, you're here, and then it's an F chord. And then you cross over for the last measure up here, and you also get the last note with F, but an 8 VA under it, so you're down here. softly. So the left hand's doing all of that. Work them out fingering wise so you can get them and then put them together. At the beginning, I'm going to play the chord here and the note here too. And then again, and then I'm going to lift up and go on. There, you can slow down, and then an alt tempo. And you go back to the sign, and for the coda it's here. Just make sure all those eighth notes are even. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and here. Leave your right hand right there is fine, and then here. And then you can let both hands up. Dynamics. We start out soft. Now it's medium soft, and that's the melody, so the left hand has to be soft. You can put a little crescendo in here. You got to go up to medium loud. There's not a lot of difference between medium soft and medium loud. It's just a little bit. Now go back down to medium soft. Now back up to medium loud. Soft. Crescendoing and slowing down and multitasking here. Because this is medium loud here. Now you're loud. Don't get carried away with the loud. Don't get vulgar with it. It's just a little louder. Line there in the first measure, it's a retardando and it's softer. You go back to the sign, which is at the bottom of page 58. You see it there, your medium soft. Get a little louder. And at the end of the first line, you see the coda sign, so you jump down to the coda there here. And this is medium soft and slow down. Soft, stay soft. It's a nice piece. Get all that worked out so you can hear everything. And then we add the pedal. Boy, do I have some things to say about pedal. Again, I think they're just simplifying the pedal for you. Well, I don't care for it. If I pedal it the way they're saying to pedal it, the first part of this would be sounding like this. Because it's a legato pedal. That sounds terrible, it's my opinion. So I'm going to suggest some changes with this pedal. I want to take a bunch of it out. It's too blurry, too smeary, and we don't need it. At the beginning is fine. The first two measures is fine. Do that one. And then raise it up before you start it. That was introduction. I want a little break in the sound before I start this melody. And I'm not pedaling the last two beats of this measure or any measure that's got quarter notes. And the last two beats, no. Just the first two beats, and that's it. last measure, you can pedal the whole measure there. And lift it up at the end so we get a break in the phrase before we go on. And again, I'm not pedaling the last 2 beats when the right hand has quarter notes. Now here you can legato pedal that measure, but in the next measure, just the first 2 beats. Legato pedal the last measure in 3rd line is fine, and then lift up so we get silence before we go on. It's a new phrase. So you're keeping the left hand down, so you're not losing all the sound. I don't want to blur these notes. I don't want that. So it's the last line of the page 58. Here is fine. Lift up, it's a new phrase. And then we pedal all of this. And 2nd line, 1st measure, you can pedal that. But then lift it up on the next, but don't pedal any of this 2nd measure with the 8th notes running. That should be all clean. And then, and you can connect the 8th notes to the phrase, connect it to the melody coming up. You don't separate this. Don't separate those. Connect it all. Right there. So no pedal on the 2nd measure, and then we go back to pedaling the first 2 beats only. Last measure, you can pedal all of that. Lift up before you go on, it's a new phrase. And so forth. And then the coda at the bottom, pedal it like they're saying is fine. And just gently let it die away. It's kind of nice. It's a beautiful piece. So it sort of sounds, this arrangement, I don't know if you're understanding the pedaling, I'll try and demonstrate it for you and give you an idea. Just take a pencil and mark in the pedaling. I just scribble out the line. If I want to erase a pedal, I just scribble out the line because I can't erase it anyway. And it's got to be in pencil because you want to be able to erase them eventually if you change your mind. Or somebody else gets a hold of the book and they don't like what you've done. They want to do it different. So at the beginning we're soft. How fast you roll those chords is up to you. You decide after you get to know the piece and you feel it. What do you feel like rolling them? And then we go on. Medium soft. Medium loud. Soft. Medium loud. Slow down. Now the coda is here. Just slow down. And then here. And let it die away. It's a beautiful piece. I recommend it.